Hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Cube video. We have a pretty solid pack to start, actually quite good. We're taking the Mox. This is amazing. I would say it's probably the second best Mox after Mox Sapphire, the blue one. Definitely a great pick, top 10 card in the format. Other good considerations here, Entomb is kind of a build around. It's not good in every deck, but when it's good, it's just broken, so not a bad card to first pick. And then Steam Vents is the other reasonable first pick, I think. Arbor Elf is a little bit below in that tier, and like you could take one of the blue cards, but pretty easy mocks here. Okay, what do we have here? Not a clear follow-up. This card is very good in mono white, unsurprisingly. And if we wanted to push towards that direction, we could take the Thraben Inspector. There's also Trinket Mage, which can find the Mox, and is just a decent card. If you have a Mox plus like one other good value, 0 or 1 drop, then this card's pretty nice. Also very good with like, Relic and Walking Ballista. Zealous Conscripts is a great card. But I think I like just taking the Arid Mesa here. I guess I should also mention Rashidun Port. If we are mono white, then this card is just amazing. It's very, very good. Disruption. Sulfuric Vortex is also fine, but let's take the Arid Mesa here. Keep our options open. We still could go in pretty much any direction with these two picks, which is a good place to be 2 picks into the draft. Okay, this pack is kind of bad, just all around. There's no standout cards. Kolaghan's Command is probably the best card. It doesn't work particularly well with what we have right now, but that's a consideration. Chandra is also quite strong, and we do have Arid Mesa, which can help to get red mana. Plus, accelerating into this early with a Mox Pearl is nice. Both of the white cards are pretty medium. You could just take Probe and just keep the options open, although if we're playing a somewhat aggressive deck with these cards, we might end up playing Thalia, which makes Probe quite bad. I'm not going to do some sort of weird build around like Niv or Yogg. This is not the start for that. I think I will take the Chandra. This card is really strong. Yeah, we'll take this. And who knows, okay, I was going to say we could be red-white, and then right on cue, we do get the Sacred Foundry. Sensei's Divining Top would be good if we'd taken the Trinket Mage. There's also Badlands, but I think I would slightly rather set up for red-white, given that we already have the Mox Pearl. Abbot of Carol Keep is decent, but not a card that I'm super thrilled with taking early. This card I don't get. I can't really imagine any deck that would play this. The only decks that would want it are decks that are playing a bunch of art. Like, Wildfire had a purpose in the old format, because you could play a bunch of artifact mana, then blow up their lands and creatures, and have a bunch of artifacts and be ahead. But this is just like, it seems hard to make this particularly asymmetrical. I guess if you have, like, mono red Super Friends, maybe, but weird card. I don't understand its purpose in the format. We're going to take Sacred Foundry. I should also mention Recurring Nightmare as just a powerful card, but not a card we're particularly interested in right now. Okay, I'll take a Plateau. Just double down on good boros mana. We could take Godless Shrine if we wanted to push towards Mardu. There's also Xander's Lounge, but I think I like just taking the Plateau. And now we have very good mana for red-white. And this, it's TBD. We could be red-white all-in aggro and playing like a lot of burn and stuff like that. We could also be a more mid-rangey deck that's playing like Signets to ramp into red and white 4 and 5 mana Planeswalkers, both of which sound pretty good. So we'll see what looks open. Interesting. Koth versus Embereth Shieldbreaker. Koth is a more powerful card, but Embereth Shieldbreaker is a very nice interactive card. Blowing up an artifact is really good in this format, obviously, and it is kind of a 2-for-1, but I'm still leaning towards taking the Koth here. Having multiple cards that are similar, like these are both cards that are very good to ramp into, which can just give us more consistency. Like now that we have this, a red Signet is a really high pickup, because there will be a number of games where we go like turn 1 land, Mox, Signet, turn 2 either one of these, and that's a pretty good plan for winning. I do love the Shieldbreaker, though. I think I'm still taking the Koth. Okay, Nahiri. Destroy Evil is kind of interesting, but yeah, let's take the Nahiri. Yeah, I mean, it's in our colors. It's solid. It's a little expensive. Now we're getting a bit heavy at 4 drops, but I think that's fine. This deck is looking interesting and kind of unique. Now I'll take a Magda. Not bad. Not great, but if we play this on turn 1 off of Mox Pearl and then attack, we can play one of these on turn 2. Another way to add to that consistency. Okay, this is kind of a decision point. If we want to be pretty aggressive, we take the Eidolon. We could also go a little more mid-rangey with Karmic Guide, but this card isn't even that good anywhere, frankly, so I think I would rather have the Eidolon here. Okay, really nice to see all these things coming around. I think I'm going to take the Sulfuric Vortex and lean a little bit more towards aggro, given that we got a late Eidolon. We could still potentially splash the Nahiri, but if Mono Red is really open, we could also just do that. Yeah, let's take this over the port. Now we get Oblivion Ring, not bad. Land Tax is a good sideboard card. Alright, Savannah, Endurance, last pick Himitorok, sure. Okay, solid pack. If we want to be hyper aggro, we don't have the 1-drops. So that's a bit of a problem. But that being said, this is like these cards can all win the game on their own. So we're setting up to be a little bit more of like a you can actually play Eidolon in decks that aren't super aggressive. You're playing a little bit more mid rangey. You have some interaction, and then you have cards that just like push a lot of damage, and that can be a solid recipe for success. One thing is if you're doing that, you do need to have good interaction, specifically for creatures and artifacts. So not having the Breath Shieldbreaker could come back to bite us. Hopefully we can get some sort of like a braid type cards here. Okay, interesting pack. Speaking of a braid type cards, this card is kind of sweet. I haven't actually used it yet, but it seems. I mean, it's a Reclamation Sage to start, and then it has Vigilance and can draw cards. So that is kind of awesome. It's a card that I'm definitely interested in, but at the same time, Flooded Strand would be really nice. We have decent mana fixing already, but this isn't like it's a good card, but it's not like the card that you really need. Like for like a Mother of Runes or like Swords to Plowshares, I would probably take even over a fetch land, but just a card that's like a solid 3-drop. I think I'd rather have the Flooded Strand here. It also gives us outs to splash green potentially. Green was looking pretty open, and we do have the Savannah now with 2 lands to fetch it. It also gives us outs to play Ren and 6. Yeah, let's take the fetch. Ooh, getting past a Mox. That feels good. On color Mox, no less. The white cards here are quite strong. Esper Sentinel and Council's Judgment would both be really nice pickups. There's also Avalanche Riders, but yeah, we'll definitely take the Mox here. No surprise there. Given especially that we want to be ramping into these 4-mana Planeswalkers, that makes Moxen even better. Okay, this pack is a little weak. Um, there are a couple lands that we can fetch with these lands if we want to try and go in that route, but I don't think I'm that interested in trying to splash black or anything. Faithless Looting is a great card. That's probably the pick here. This card is very good sometimes and very bad sometimes, and it doesn't seem like it's maximized in this deck where we have a reasonable number of things that it hits of ours. Another interesting possibility is Inferno Titan, which is just, I mean, it's a solid playable card on its own. It's also really good with each one of these Planeswalkers because these 2 ramp, and the ultimate of this one makes you want to have a big creature to attack with, like Inferno Titan. But I think this is just such a good card that we kind of have to take it. It just like guarantees that you hit your land drops early, guarantees that you don't flood late. Just lends so much consistency for such a low cost. Yeah, I don't think I can say no to that. Okay, interesting. There's a Kiki Jiki. We passed Restoration Angel already, though, so I don't think we're going to go in that direction. Otherwise, I do like Kroxa a lot, but we don't have good black mana. There's Mother of Runes, Elite Spellbinder, and Signet. And I think we just take the Mom. We're pretty likely to be playing white here. I guess we don't have that many white spells, but Mother of Runes is just, like, incredibly powerful. Yeah, let's take this card. Kind of close pick, though. Could even be a good Signet deck, but we'll take the Mom. Okay, well, we just passed Kiki. There's the Pestermite, but I think we take the Jite here. Pia and Kiernalar is decent, but Jite pretty much single-handedly swings all the creature matchups. It's very, very good. Notable that it's a bit of a nombo with Sulfuric Vortex. You can't gain life, but that's pretty minor. Student of Warfare is also good. A lot of good cards in Boros for us here. Hopefully we can wheel one of these 4 red-white cards, but we'll take the Jite here first. Okay, interesting pack. I think we take Glorybringer. Mox Diamond is okay, but we already have two Moxen, so it's less necessary. Lion Sash is good if we get Stoneforge Mystic, which would be a reasonably high pickup. And then there's Oust, which is a good removal spell, and we actually have pretty weak removal at the moment. But I think this is the kind of deck that really wants Glorybringer. We want some more of these heavy hitting middle draw or sort of like 3 to 5 mana cards that can take over the game on their own. Ooh, wow. I mean, okay, a lot of twin stuff going around. Kind of wish we had taken the Kiki Jiki now. There's also Fractured Identity, which is just busted. And it's weird to see it going this late. So let's think. Both of these are also just solid role players. So, and even Balance is actually reasonable in this deck too. Good pack for us. I think we just take the Rabble Master. It's not the most fun pick necessarily, but it's a really powerful card. And it's also another one of these cards that, like, we could turn one Rabble Master, and that closes out the game really quickly. It's one of those cards that, like, playing it a turn early is way, way better. If I already had a blue fetchable land, I think I would take the Fractured, but let's take the Rabble Master. Okay, now we get a pretty easy History of Benalia. Solid card. Another one of these cards that can kind of take over a game pretty quickly. Okay, this is our first kind of brick of this pack. There's Knight of the Reliquary, but that's not even that good. Like the mana is kind of sketchy for it. Goblin Bombardment is okay. We don't have that many good ways to make tokens. It's solid with Rabble Master, I guess. I don't think we're playing Welder, so I will take this, but it may or may not make the main deck. Ooh, okay, interesting. Finks, Council Judgment, and Avalanche Riders. I think we should take Council's Judgment here. It's just such a good removal spell. Yeah, close pick, but we'll take the Council Judgment. Okay, nice. Inferno Titan Wheel. That's a really good late pickup. Nahiri is now looking much better. Now we get... I still don't think we're doing Kroxa. Manamorphose is kind of an okay role player, but we're not playing colors that really need the graveyard that much. There's like Grim Lavamancer, but we're not playing Delve creatures. So I'll take this and probably not main deck it, but not a bad card to have access to out of the board. Now we get Mana Tithe. That's a really nice late pickup. We're not playing Field of the Dead, so I'll take this just in case. And last pick, Mirari's Wake. Okay, this deck looks sweet. Red-white mid-range is not a common archetype, but with like it is the sort of deck that you need Moxen to make work. But if you can just accelerate into like fast plays, it can get the job done. This pack is pretty bad though for us, unfortunately. I would love to play this Dak Faden, but we don't have the blue mana for it. And there's a couple decent red and white cheap cards. They're not super exciting. I think we could take the Giver of Runes though. Having Giver of Runes plus Mother of Runes is kind of nice. The main thing we need is burn spells though. We have not a single burn spell, and that's bad. So hopefully we can get some of that. Okay. Solid card, Layla. This card is actually better than solid. It's phenomenal, and again, really good to get down early. So this is not going to come as a surprise potentially, but I think the games where we draw the Moxen will be a lot better. Like almost all of these cards play well with Mox. Like, sure, you could say like, oh, everything's better if you played a turn early, but that's not really true. Like playing Goblin Bombardment a turn earlier is not that impressive. Playing like Inferno Titan on turn 5 versus turn 6 doesn't matter that much. Like all these removal spells, you don't really need to ramp into them. Specifically, like proactive threats that can snowball are the kind of things you want to be playing with Moxen. Even more so than normal stuff. So yeah, that's a pretty good one then. I don't think it's likely Swift Spear comes around, but if it does, we would play that too. Ooh, nice. Okay, I don't think we can pass Lightning. Well, huh. Lightning Bolt's great, but Caracas is too, and we have tons of playables. I guess we could trim like Oblivion Ring, Sulfuric Vortex from the main deck. We're going to end up with tons of playables still, though. Bolt is very, very good, though. I think I'm actually taking Caracas here. It's close. I'm not 100% sure that this is correct, but Caracas is really, really good. It's only okay with our things, but I mean, it does have some synergy with our things, and it's great interaction against a lot of opposing decks at the cost of like nothing. Playing this over planes is pretty much free, whereas playing this like our 23rd or 24th spell is gonna be great, and it's gonna be hard to cut it. Whereas just cutting a planes is great. I think this is a bigger marginal upgrade, even though Bolt is amazing. Okay, interesting pick here. I kind of want to take Mishra's Factory. Solitude is good. Actually, maybe Solitude is what is the pick here. We just passed removal. Yeah, I think. How good is our mana here? Pretty solid. But Solitude is a really strong card. I think I will take this, given that we just passed the removal spell. Okay, Lightning Helix. That's kind of sweet. We could get greedy and try to wheel it, because I don't think anyone else is playing Boros. But someone did take the Niv Mizzet. Like, there's always someone that might want to play a card like this. We can also take Fire Blast or Beaumont Courier, but I think I'm just going to take the Helix and make sure we get it. It's much, much better than all the other cards there for us. And now we can take a Red Elemental Blast. Probably not a card we're going to main deck. I think this actually is a main deckable card in some matchups, but or I mean in some decks. But if we're trying to be proactive, it's a little bit worse to have a dead card like this sometimes. So we'll take it, but probably not main deck it. Okay, interesting. Our creature count's a little bit low for Sword of Fire and Ice. We're not doing Omnath. We could take Mutavault. This is another situation where Grim Lavamancer is a decent card for us, but it might be better to just have a land that's a significant upgrade. And I think our mana will be good enough. We have 4 duels. Like say we're playing 5 of each basic. That's already 10 of each color. I think Mutavault is the pick here. Ooh, nice. Late Inspiring Vantage. Wheel of Fortune is good, specifically if we go like turn 1, like land, mox, wheel, but I think it's still better to fortify the mana base. Okay, we're not a Yorion deck. We're not a Luris. It's sort of funny to have 2 companions here. I guess I'll take Luris, which we can bring in against aggro decks, but not a super good card for us. I don't think there's any green splash that we're ever. We have good mana to splash green, but we don't have spells. So let's take Dam, which is an okay sideboard card. It looks like a black card, but you can overload it for white, and 2 colorless and cast it that way. I guess we could also take Reclamation Sage and have 4 green sources. No, let's just take the solid sideboard card. There's another green source. Oh, I think there was a card that we. This was the Bolt pack. We knew Bolt wasn't going to wheel though. We're never playing Ignite Memories. I guess we could play Winter Orb in some matchups. Nice. Runaway Steamkin I think is playable. Fire Blast, sweet. And then a couple random late pickups. Okay, so I actually was a little bit off base about how many playables we had. I think we are playing Oblivion Ring now. And then we can play 16 lands plus 2 Moxen. Do we want Sulfuric Vortex in the main deck? We probably do. We're not hyper aggressive, but it's a solid card. Then what would be the cut? I don't feel comfortable going 15 lands here. We do have a kind of high curve. I think I like the Planeswalkers, Glorybringer, Solitude, all that. Let's cut the Oblivion Ring, I guess. Council Judgment is significantly better. And then we can bring this in certain matchups. Alright, this deck seems sweet. Red-white, we're like aggro, but not all in aggro. If we ran it like this, sort by color. 15 red cards, 8 white cards. So we're definitely much heavier on red. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 white. Yeah. That seems really good. Like, we don't have that many white cards, but we do have a couple double white cards. So we will run it like this. I haven't played a deck like this in quite a while, but it seems pretty sweet. I will see you in round 1. Alright, we have our opponent for round 1. We're playing against the Big Elephant Owl, the Big Elegant Owl. And we're on the draw with a playable hand. It's not as explosive as I would like, but Layla's good. We're on the play. Good mix of lands and spells. So we're going to start with Sacred Foundry tapped. There's no need to play Faithless Looting here. Our hand is good. We aren't looking for anything in particular. We don't even know what our opponent's playing. So we're going to save this for later, ideally to loot away excess lands. Then we can go Jite into Layla. Dragon's Rage Chandler. Okay. Helix is a good draw. Do we want... I think it's fine to let them keep the Chandler for a turn. I'm still going to get the Jite down. Because we might be able to kill the Dragon's Rage Chandler with Jite and save Helix for something bigger. Suspend Ancestral Vision. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Yeah, let's go for Layla. Hopefully this gets to attack at least. They might have a bolt. Looks like they don't. And if we flip a Mox, we could cast it. Oh, we do! That is awesome. Best possible hit there. Still not going to play the looting. Just going to pass. That was really phenomenal. So we'll see what they do here. Mox Sapphire is fine. If they tap out, we could potentially go Chandra plus for mana, equip Jite to the Layla, and then hit them and kill the Channeler, which would be really good. But if they have a bunch of mana open, I don't love the idea of putting mana into the Layla, because if we do that and then they incinerate the Layla or something, it's pretty bad exchange for us. A Layla of their own. Okay. That is fine. I think now we go Helix plus equip. I think we're still equipping Jite. Attack with both, exiling Glenn. That's fine. And then with only one blue man up. Oh, they concede. What? That's hilarious. I mean, we were going to win this game, I think, but that's very early. Like, they didn't even know we had the answer to Layla. But fair enough. So we're playing against blue-red. Hard to tell how aggressive they are, but if they're playing Dig Through Time and Ancestral Vision, they're probably more on the controlling side. Let's bring in Red Elemental Blast. I don't think we want Winter Orb, especially on the draw. We do want Land Tax on the draw. I think we can cut one Mountain if we're playing Land Tax. Oh, and then Goblin Bombardment actually just maybe shouldn't even be the deck. But yeah, we can cut this. How does this look? 15 lands is low, but we do have 17 mana sources. We're on the draw. We have Land Tax. We do have a kind of high curve. Maybe we could get Sulfuric Vortex on the draw. Maybe we make this exchange actually. Go a little bit more fair mid-range. I don't think we need Rolling Earthquake though necessarily. And I definitely don't think we need Dam. Yeah, we'll run like this. Okay, good hand. We can play turn 1 Eidolon if we want to, which is very aggressive. Turn 1 Eidolon, turn 2 Layla. Yeah, against the Ponder, I think that is what we want to do. Could be a little different if they like played Ragavan, but still probably not even. It's a bit awkward that we don't have double white for this Council's Judgment. Okay, Red Elemental Blast, pretty good draw. Still sticking with the plan though. Turn 1 Eidolon. Okay. Consider is pretty bad against Eidolon. This card is so good when it's good. Do they have a way to kill it? They don't. Okay. Alright, let's just play Layla. Time to play Layla. So cast this. The only thing we could hit that we could play is a Mox Pearl, but that's fine. I mean, just pushing 5 damage is pretty good when... I mean, this is turn 2, keep in mind. Oh my goodness. Hilarious. This Layla will not fail us. So they take 5. We're going to dome ourselves for 4 here to play the Giver of Runes, which isn't ideal, but it's fine. Alright. We've dealt 9 damage and put 7 permanents into play by turn 2. Now they're playing Expressive Iteration, which is again like phenomenal card, but way too slow here. They graveyard Mox Sapphire. Wow. I don't know what they're looking for if they're graveyarding that. They hit the Spire Bluff Canal. They have to attack, which is good for us because they're clearly on the defense here. And they just concede. All right, well, an absolutely dominant performance in round 1. I mean, granted, we like drew our Mox in. Like, I think we had probably above average draws, but this deck is the real deal. See you in round 2. All right, here we are for round 2. We're on the draw again, unfortunately. Didn't side up the Goblin Bombardment. We'll see if how that ends up being. It could be good, but we'll see. We're on the draw. They play a Swamp. Lotus Petal. All right, so they're up to some shenanigans probably. That is not that bad for us. So we're going to get to play our turn 1 Mother of Runes. There's some argument to fetching a Plateau in case we draw Eidolon. Which maybe we should have just done, because we don't particularly want to draw lands with this hand anyways. Okay. Petty Theft on the Mother of Runes is fine. Interesting. I think I'm going to be mana efficient here and play the Jite. And at this point, I do actually want to draw lands, so I'm not going to worry about fetching yet. So now what we're going to do is play Goblin Bombardment. Oh, bad draw. Goblin Bombardment and then Mother of Runes. So if they kill the Mother of Runes, we can kill the Strix. And that's better than just playing the Mom and equipping Jite because they're pretty likely to have a removal spell here. So let's start by casting Goblin Bombardment. Okay, now we'll grab our Plateau. Cast the Mom. Entomb. Okay, we'll see what they entomb for. We have multiple ways to exile things. I mean, yeah, Grizzlebrand is, I guess, worst case scenario. Yeah, that's quite bad. We're hoping for something like an Ulamog. Reanimate. Okay, if they're going to do something, then reanimate is what we want, because that deals them a lot of damage. Now they're down to 12. They go to 5 here. So hopefully we can use Council's Judgment to take out the Grizzlebrand instead of Solitude. If they Thoughtseize us here, I think we probably do need to hit them in response. But like, keep in mind, they're at 5, and we have this Goblin Bombardment in play. So we'll see if they have the counter magic for the Council's Judgment. They discard 2 more reanimation targets. Oh, and we draw Sulfuric Vortex. Okay, that changes things. Let's just play that. And if it shuts down the lifelink, then they're in bad shape. Like, if this resolves, I can't really see the way that they win. Brainstorm, okay. Because it like, even though they have Grizzlebrand, they go to 3. Goblin Bombardment puts them in Essential 2, and they would die in their next turn. We can also even evoke the Solitude to take out the Grizzlebrand, and they don't gain life. Okay, it resolves. Sweet. So we pass. Also, now that they played the Brainstorm, they can't play Brazen Borrower. Let's push them to 3. We could put them to 1 immediately by evoking Solitude and then sacking the Solitude to Goblin Bombardment with the trigger on the stack. This is the problem. Reanimate is actually not good specifically with Grizzlebrand. I mean, I can't say it's not good, but the fact that like that costs 8 life and then this makes you want to pay 7 life, like doming yourself for 15 is not a joke. You'd much prefer to bring back like Archon of Cruelty, where like you don't need to pay life for it to be good, and in fact it gains life. So unless they have some sort of bounce spell for the Sulfuric Vortex, we're looking good. Looks like dig through time. Yeah. Elishnorn and Iona are both good against us. It is sort of nice though that we're not monocolored. So like if they name red, we have a few answers. I mean 2 in our hand, plus we can we get there. Alright, nice. These 2 plus Oblivion Ring gives us plenty of answers. and and then if they name white, like I mean most of our deck is red, so it's decent, but it's not game ending. Do we want to bring in red elemental blast? I think we do. It's not as good as it is against like I think the black spells are the ones we care the most about, but still decent. I don't think GTA is very good, and I also don't think Goblin Bombardment is very good. Um, we can bring in land tax over a mountain on the draw again, and then bring in Oblivion Ring as our last card. This looks pretty good to me. Mother of Runes and Giver of Runes are both kind of medium. If we wanted to be really conservative against specifically Iona, we could bring in Dam because they would never name black, and that's a way to kill their huge angel. But I think I would rather just run it like this. Grizzlebrand, no problem. This hand is very reactive. Inferno Titan and Fire Blast are both kind of a mulligan. Yeah, I think we can do better. Let's shift this. Okay, I think this hand's a bit stronger. We can keep and put back the Solitude since we don't have the mana for it. If they have like Entomb, Exhume, we die. But Red Elemental Blast can help to shut down some of their stuff, and then we have a few good hard hitting threats that can close out the game quickly. They should have played this in our upkeep. I mean, I guess they're just not that worried about counter magic against the boros deck, but we do have it here. They could even just main phase it actually on their turn before we play land, because that way they can discard the hand size, which they actually might want to do depending on what they have. So Mox is by far the best draw here to drop one of our 3 drops. Collective Brutality to look at our hand, but we have nothing. Okay, pretty good start for us here so far. No Mox. In fact, I mean, quite a bad draw. Play the Mutavault. I don't think this will happen, but there could theoretically be a world where we want to attack, and there's no reason to have the second mountain in play necessarily. Okay. I think I'm going to play Rabble Master first here. Um, I want to ideally be able to like play land off of the Layla. Oh no. Okay, they put Grizzlebrand into the yard. We hit them for 1. They could have Shallow Grave here. If they do, so be it. They sack their land. Okay, that must mean they don't have a reanimation spell yet. Because you want to have mana in play when you're putting Grizzlebrand into play. So, did they find it off of the Silent Clearing? Him to Torok. Okay, we lose our Layla. Helix is good to lose. Layla is bad to lose. We draw. Oh, that is a bad card. That would have been a mountain before. That's too bad. But still, we're pretty aggressive here. We get to animate this, and this is a mount, or it is a goblin, so it makes the Rabble Master bigger. And with this Fire Blast in hand too, we're actually very close to just killing them. Hit them for 9, so they're dead next turn. Grizzlebrand is starting to become a liability. Okay, dig through time, and I guess they'll keep the Grizzlebrand, delve away everything else. Sure. If they have like Toxic Deluge, no, they've already played a land. Yeah, I forgot they put themselves back a land drop. I don't know if there's much they could have here. It's never over in Vintage Cube. They could go like Time Walk into like Snap Time Walk into Animate Dead, something else, but we're in a very good position now, certainly. Do they have Shallow Grave? Duress. Interesting. So we could just Fire Blast their face, but I think that's overly aggressive. Like, we couldn't even animate our Mutavault if we do that. They do take the Fire Blast, no surprise. And then reanimate down to 2. Okay, so if we draw land, we just win because we can Chandra plus. Hopefully we draw it. Oh, I should have specified. Brutal. Okay. So now what's the best plan? I think we're actually gonna lose. That's very frustrating. Um, maybe it was wrong. Maybe we are supposed to Fire Blast. So Okay, we're gonna make a token with Rabble Master and then attack with 3 goblins. If we do like basically our two options are attack with the 3 goblin tokens or to animate Mutavault and attack with everything. If we attack with Mutavault, then our Rabble Master gets +4 power, so it becomes a 6/2. It's almost big enough to kill the Grizzlebrand, but not quite. If we animate and swing with everything, they block the Rabble Master. They take 5 and gain 7. I think we're dead. Oh man, this Inspiring Vantage. Yeah, I mean, a few blunders here. First of all, if this was a mountain, we would have won. Second of all, if this was any other land in the deck, we would have won. Third of all, if we had Fire Blasted, then we probably would have won. Um, I think I'm not gonna send the Rabble Master. It's really bad. Like, I mean, they see our hand, they see the kind of hilarious nature of it. Wish we could. I wish we could leave these back. Like, letting them gain a life here is obviously bad. They're gonna attack us and go up to 13 life. And then it's kind of hard to see how we win from that position. We don't have any removal spells we could draw other than Solitude. Solitude would give us a chance, but at that point they're gaining so much life that we probably just get buried. Oh, they didn't attack. Interesting. Hmm. Okay. What do we want to do here? We can. I think we attack with the Rabble Master this time, and if they block, then we can kill it potentially. I mean, they might counter it. There's a lot of things that beat us here, but I think we do go for this. So 5/2 Rabble Master. They can block. Okay, they block one of the tokens, so we get in for 7. They stay at the same life total here. Then we will Chandra plus, and then almost definitely just hit them for 2. Faithless Looting. Interesting. I think I'd rather just do them than for 2 and then get the land tax down. This is going to give us 3 lands, which doesn't matter too much, but it does take dead draws out of our deck. Okay, they play Preordain. If they want to attack the Chandra, they go to 11, but then we can potentially hit them back for a lot of damage with the Rabble Master. If they can kill our Rabble Master, then we are in really bad shape, because we can't really raise 7 life a turn unless we have something like Rabble Master that can push a ton of damage. This looks like it might be Toxic Deluge for 2. Oh, Thieving Skydiver to steal the Mox. That's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. They do decide to kill the Chandra, so they're going to go up to 11. But then we will potentially... I mean, if we can find a way to kill the Thieving Skydiver and hit them with a Rabble Master, we're in good shape. Okay, perfect. I was planning on not playing a land to keep the land tax going, but obviously if we draw a 5-drop, we want to cast it. I don't think it's lethal, but it's kind of close. Actually, is it lethal? 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I think it is. All right, we're done. We're F6'd. Math is for blockers or clients. Yes! Beat a Grizzlebrand. Back-to-back games. That's awesome. This deck is so sick. We're 4-0. I'll see you in the finals. Right, we're fighting Little Ajax for the trophy, and we are on the play. Alright, definitely can't keep that one. This hand is not great either, but it is a keep. I think we keep and put back Goblin Bombardment here. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we have... do we want to play the Mox Pearl in 1? I think I will hold it. No, I'll play it. If they kill it, it's actually fine. The reason to play it is in case they play like Esper Sentinel or Thalia. I think I think that's more likely than them like killing this on turn 1. They could kill it, but even if they do, like we are playing the Eidolon next turn either way. In one league I recently played, I got burned for... Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, now we can't play Eidolon on turn 2, but we can play Runaway Steamkin. Great draw. And now we have tons of live draws. Almost anything in our deck we can cast. We do have a few 4+ drops, but land would be good and spell would be good, and that's always a good place to be. Alright, sweet. So we'll play this pre-combat so we can level up our Steamkin. Typically, like, that's a weird case as a strip mine. Maybe if they're really flooded, they do it, but they're on the draw and we have a Mox. So that's not typically the kind of time when you want to be setting yourself back land. The Hiri is much less powerful than basically any other 4-drop we could have next turn, but it's fine. Play Wrenn and 6, that's not that scary. They can bring back one land. Oh, they can. Okay, they have Wrenn and 6 strip mine, but they don't even go for it because they know that we'll be killing the Wrenn. Alright, play this. I think I will. Do we want to discard this Fire Blast? Also, do we want to ignore the Wrenn? We could have hit them for 5. I think that's a little overly aggressive, though. Wait, we also could Fire Blast their face here, put them to 11, and then attack them for 6. Yeah, you know what? It's super aggressive, but I actually think that is correct. Yeah, if this Nahiri was anything other than Nahiri, we would be in a better position here, of course. But this just, it's very aggressive. It pushes a lot of damage. And we have this Eidolon in play. And they like if they're going to be, and we know that they have a fetch land in hand. And we can remove counters from those Steamkin to cast something if we draw something we really want to play. Alright, nice. Got there. Yeah, really cool start. Wrenn and 6 strip mine totally wreck a bunch of decks, but we were fast enough that we were okay. Land tax seems really good against strip mine, and it's just also good when you're on the draw. So we saw like red-green stuff. Don't want the red elemental blast. We could go really deep and play Life from the Loam on the splash, but that's a little loose. I don't really want to cut a land, even though we're bringing in land tax and we're on the draw because of what we've seen from their deck. What do we want to cut? Probably Goblin Bombardment again. And then Mother of Runes is really weak to Wrenn and 6, but I still don't think we cut it. Yeah, I think we just run it like this. Oblivion Ring is not bad. Maybe Oblivion Ring over Vortex. That game we were extremely hyper aggressive, but that's not really how it's going to go every time. Yeah, I think we'll try this on the draw. If we draw Oblivion Ring in a situation where we really want Sulfuric Vortex, we can take note. Oh man, this hand. I feel like we gotta ship it, right? Like, we have a lot of live top decks, and Mother of Runes is a good play on turn 1 if they don't have Wrenn and 6. But we just have, like, literally nothing for the next 5 turns right now. We are pretty likely to top deck things, and we do have both of our colors, but I think this deck is good enough. Like, this is a hand that could win some games, but I think our deck is good enough that we can win a lot of games on a Mold of 6. Yeah, this hand seems better. Let's keep and put back. It's kind of awkward to keep Giver of Runes and Mana Tithe. So I think I'll put back the Giver and just plan on playing Mana Tithe. Or do we want to curve out? Could also put back History of Benalia. Yeah, we'll put back History. And then we'll see what they do. If they just play Land Go, I'm kind of tempted to also play Land Go. Okay, Mox Diamond. If they have turn 1 Wrenn and 6, then, like, you got me. That's really disgustingly good. Okay, Survival of the Fittest is fine. Against this start, though, I think I do want to put Giver of Runes into play. Reason being, like, if we can protect the Magda, that's really nice. We can potentially start getting some treasure value, and that's a way to beat Strip Mine. If they do just Strip Mine us here, fair enough. I guess we could have played around that by just holding the Arid Mesa uncracked, but Strip Mine on its own is not bad. It's only bad when it's paired with Ren and Six. If they go like Strip Mine Plateau, play Ren and Six, return Strip Mine, like GG, probably. Okay, they're discarding Uro. That's some nice value for them. Uro is kind of sweet with this because you can just like get a bad creature that you don't care about. Oh, well, there's an answer to the Uro. Okay, Elvish Reclaimer's fine. They missed their land drop. Um, yeah, let's just drop the Magda into play. Pass turn. There's an argument to holding Mana Tithe because they're constrained on mana, but like we want to push the advantage. Yeah, so it looks like they're just passing back, and now we're in a really good position. So, do we play Layla? I think we do. I wish this was a dwarf. All right, let's play Plains Layla. And then the Magda trigger will give us Mana Tithe. Oh my goodness. Layla is just giving us Moxen every time. I love it. If they block, I will. Okay, yeah. So they just take 5. That's fine. Let's drop the Mox into play. And now we're just in a great position. Giver of Runes shuts down removal. We have Mana Tithe to mess with their development. We have a lot of pressure. And our pressure is like this generates cards and this generates mana. So they really work well together. Just a really, really strong start for us. Turn 3. 7 permanents. 8 permanents, actually. Wow, easiest trophy I've ever gotten. Actually, that's not true. The Reanimator matchup had some tough points, but really, really solid stuff. Let's see that deck list. I told my family that I was going to be ready for dinner at 7, and it's barely past 6. Quick league. This deck was just busted. Like, I knew it was going to be good, but I think we also did draw a little bit hot. But from the way it played, it was like among the best vintage cube decks I've ever played. Double uncolor mocks, plus like tons of very good cards to play ahead of curve, meant that we had some incredibly explosive starts. We also had some threats, like, Chandra, Glorybringer, mid game cards that could like really push you across the finish line. Um, and then with land tax and red elemental black, actually, yeah, we just all around we had a good sideboard too. The ways that this could have been improved would be to there's a couple cards that are kind of weak, so like Goblin Bombardment, Nahiri, Inferno Titan. If we could have replaced those 3 with like Ragavan, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Monastery Swiftspear or something, just be a little bit more proactive, that probably would have been an upgrade. Or some more burn, like just replace those 3 with like Lightning Bolt variants. But still can't really complain. The deck was sweet. I believe we first picked Mox Pearl and then second picked Chandra. And no, second picked Arid Mesa, third picked Chandra. And I think that's like a reasonable progression. Mox Pearl is at its best in aggro decks. I don't think you need to force mono white necessarily. Obviously, this deck wasn't mono white, but it was just really, really good. And we got the trophy, which is always a good feeling. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.